Today we're installing a Madjax Genesis 150 rear seat kit designed for an E-Z-GO TXT. Included in the kit is the main brackets, the armrests, the struts, the lean back brackets, the bag wheel brackets, the heavy duty bracket, the footrest brackets, the hardware pack, also the seat back support bar, the G150 cushions, the frame, and the footrest. To do this, we're going to use a 10mm socket, a 17mm socket, a 17mm wrench, a number 3 Phillips tip, a 7/16 drill bit, safety glasses, and 2 cordless drills. You'll notice rubber washers in your hardware packs. These rubber washers are meant to go against any metal surface to help avoid powder coat chipping or powder coat damage caused by the flat metal washers. Before we begin installing our rear seat kit, we want to remove the factory top and retain all hardware. Now that we have our factory canopy removed, we're going to detach the rear struts and retain. We do not need to retain the hardware. Now we're ready to detach our front seat lean back. What we're going to do is remove and retain the 4 bolts located in the rear of the seat and retain the front seat as well. Now we're ready to remove our factory sweater basket. We're going to remove the 4 bolts that mounts the basket to the frame. We do not need to retain the hardware. Now that we have the OEM parts removed, we're going to install our main brackets. You'll notice on the bracket there's a plate. The plate goes towards the outside of the cart. This is the driver's side. We're going to use the 8x25mm hardware and tighten the bracket down. Make sure both bolts are in place before you tighten. Now that we have our main brackets attached, we're going to install our bag wheel brackets. You'll notice in the bag wheel, there's 2 holes in each corner. We're going to drill a 3rd hole in the corner. You'll have to feel on the bottom of the frame, there's 3rd hole. This 3rd hole is where you're going to drill up through the bottom of the frame into the bag wheel, and that's where our bag wheel bracket's going to attach to. We're going to use the 7/16 drill bit, and be sure to wear safety glasses. We're going to repeat this on the passenger side. Now we're going to install our bag wheel brackets. You'll notice on the bag wheel bracket the tab on the bottom. This tab should be facing the rear of the cart. We're going to use the 10x45mm hardware and attach it to the bag wheel and the frame. Now we're going to attach our footrest to our bag wheel brackets here and here using 10x25mm hardware. Now we're ready to attach our main frame to our main brackets and our bag wheel brackets. We're going to use the 10x25mm hardware. One thing you need to note is that the flange that's on the bottom of the frame will go in front of the bag wheel brackets. From this point on, we're not going to tighten any bolts until the very end of the seat kit installation video. Now we're going to attach the main frame to the bag wheel bracket. Just remember that the bag wheel bracket goes behind the flange. Now we're ready to install our armrest to our main frame using the 10x40mm countersunk bolts. We're going to attach the armrest to the main frame here at the very edge. As you can see, the nut goes on the outside of the armrest. Now we're going to attach our seat back support bar using the 10 by 70 millimeter hardware to the back side of the armrest. You'll notice two black spacers included in your hardware kit. These spacers go in between the top bolt holes of the armrest and the support bar. Now we're going to repeat this process on the passenger side. Now that we have our armrest and our seat support bar attached, we're going to install our new rear struts. We're going to use the 10 by 70 millimeter hardware and attach them through the support bar into the rear strut. Now we can do the same thing on the passenger side. Now we're going to attach the footrest bracket to the footrest and the armrest using the 10 by 70 millimeter hardware. You'll notice a flange on the bottom and a flange on the back side. The flange on the bottom goes under the footrest, the flange on the back side goes behind the armrest. Now we're going to repeat this step on the passenger side. Now that your frame is completely assembled, we can now tighten all of our hardware. Now that we have all of our hardware tightened, you'll notice that we've reinstalled our factory top. We're also going to now attach our front seat lean back using the retained hardware from earlier. Now we're going to attach the lean back bracket to the lean back cushion using the 6 by 25 millimeter hardware. Make sure both bolts are in place before you tighten. Now we're going to attach our lean back cushion to our seat support bar using the 10 by 45 millimeter hardware. Once both bolts are in place, then you can tighten. Now we're going to attach the seat bottom. You'll notice with the seat bottom that there's a thicker end and a slimmer end. The thicker side goes towards the rear of the cart. The slimmer side goes towards the front. Also, the HD bracket that's included in the kit will go on the slimmer side. All you'll do is take the HD bracket and line it up with the pre-drilled holes in the bottom of the seat kit. Then the hardware that you use to attach the bottom to the frame will hold it in place. Now we're going to use the 8 by 35 millimeter countersunk bolts. And once all bolts are in place, then we can tighten. Now that we have our cushions installed, you're now finished installing your Madjax Genesis 150 rear flip seat designed for the E-Z-GO TXT.